So as you can see, the temperature is running. Okay, this is the actual temperature line. This is the AI. It's a minute ahead of the actual temperature. Okay, this here is a battery that will power the relay module. Okay, here is an Arduino that will control everything, and here is the breadboard communication. That's an ESP. These are terminals for communication. Okay, that's a small battery over there that provides power for the Arduino and the ESP. Here is a pump. The pump is controlled by the Arduino using the relay module. When the conditions are met, the COM here goes from normally open to normally closed, and then the power is going to flow to the pump. And here is an oil reservoir, okay, connected to the pump, and then the pump is going to push the oil into the gearbox. Here is the temperature sensor, right, inside there, and it is connected to this breadboard here. The breadboard is connected to this AC driver, a variable frequency converter, VFD. It has been almost 15 minutes, and the model and the system overall is approaching the lower band of the temperature range. It has been a few minutes and the temperature has climbed up. The prediction is now above the lower terminal and approaching 52.5. The actual temperature is a minute behind, and it is actually at 50 currently. You can see it moving right there. Another 3 minutes and you can see that the temperature is ramping up relatively quickly, and it is approaching the upper limit. Once that happens, the pump, the Arduino will actually, as a controller, turn on the pump, which will lubricate the gearbox to reduce the oil temperature. And so as you can see, AI's prediction is ramping up to 55 degrees. Okay, and soon enough the pump will go off. You can see that the oil has been lubricated here, and the temperature dropped. So this line is a lubrication indicator, okay? And you can see that the temperature of the system dropped from the 54 down substantially. This yellow line or this orange line indicates the trend line for the lubrication. Basically, what impact did the lubrication have on the gearbox oil and the temperature of that gearbox oil? And you can see that in this particular instance, the impact has been mostly as according to design, which is mostly a reduction in temperature. It is a negative slope. Yes. As you can see also, because the gearbox is continually operating, the temperature of the gearbox oil is going to pick back up, okay? And in this case, therefore, the job of the lubrication has been very successful. We will have to wait for 3 minutes or 65 seconds here. It starts from 180 seconds. Now it's down to 60 seconds. And it will fire again in another 60 seconds. Okay? And that cycle is going to repeat. Now we are back. That the predictions of the AI are ultimately above the 55 degrees. However, we still have another 30 minutes before the next loop. Okay, so here you can see that the temperature is going to also be dropped again. Okay, as you can see, there has been another lubrication and the temperature dropped substantially back into the green zone. Okay, the AI is still predicting that the temperature in the future will be above the 55 degrees, and so generally speaking, what will happen is that it will lubricate it again and again and again until it stays within the desired point. It will inject oil and it will take out old oil, and it will basically ensure that the system remains within that ideal temperature.